Hello, my friends. Chris Cook in Nashville here. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. A little health vlog check-in for you. Not too much going on. I'm feeling really good, for one. I am also just hanging right at that same basic weight. Honestly, I'm fine with that. I have noticed that my weight loss tends to stall out for a week, 2 weeks, even 3 weeks sometimes, whatever. And then I'll kind of go through this thing where I dump some toxins or some oxalates, whatever. And then I tend to lose a little bit more weight. So that's just kind of normal. I'm just hanging right at the same weight. So no weight loss to report this week, but I'm feeling good. Got energy. Things are going well. All is good there. So I thought really quickly I would let you guys know a little bit about what's going on sort of around mental health stuff for me. And this is maybe a subject that I don't know if a lot of the keto and carnivore creators, especially in the recipe space, really talk about this. If you watch my old health vlogs, you'll know that part of what I was going through that I never realized I was going through was like anxiety and depression as a result of my diet. And that's something that's really important to understand and to address. And diet seems to be a major influencing factor for a lot of people. And honestly, I sort of feel like maybe a lot of the mental health crisis we see in the world that we live in may be related to this. So it's an important thing to know about. But something that I just wanted to share with you guys and talk with you about a little bit is, for yourselves, how can you take mental health into consideration when it comes to your stability on keto and carnivore? And this is really important because the whole concept here is kind of like permanent change, right? We're not looking to go on a diet for 3 weeks, lose 10 pounds, and then go back to what we were doing that made us feel sick. Like that's not an actual solution. That's why the whole yo-yo dieting thing is such a problem. You do things that are restrictive, you do things that are difficult, whatever. You might have the willpower to go through them short term, but then it turns into a situation where it's like, how long can I really sustain this? Dr. Barry says in a number of videos, if I locked you in my barn and fed you nothing but lettuce for months, yeah, you'd lose weight because I'd be starving you and you would lose a bunch of fat and also muscle and bone density and everything else off of your body. But as soon as I let you out of my barn, you would eat everything in sight. And you just cannot will yourself into being skinny. There has to be something else going on. And it's not just for weight loss, this is for any health issue. If it is related to your diet, you cannot will yourself into being healthy just based on pure willpower. Eventually, no matter how much you are insistent you're going to starve yourself healthy or skinny, eventually your instinctual part of your brain is going to kick in and you're going to absolutely lose control. We have to think about how do we make permanent changes. And one of the things we have to think about is the mental health aspect of this, the stability. How do we make permanent change? Well, first of all, from a physiological standpoint, you have to have nutrition, right? You have to have the proper nutrition. That's that whole keto and carnivore thing where we're getting lots of protein and fat and the vitamins and the minerals that we need from the meat that we eat. And, if you have a few low carb veggies and that works for you really well, great, cool. You find your proper human diet where you are on the spectrum. You nutritionally are filled with everything you need and you feel good. Cool. There's the physiological side taken care of. And you can do the research and figure out what it is that you think would work best. Do the N=1 experiment, figure out your own diet, how that's going to work. But what do you do about the psychological side? And this is where honestly a lot of my recipes I feel like become really helpful, because there is a psychological and cultural side to our food. And this is very wrapped up in our mental health too, because if you feel like you've given up things that are important to you and you don't understand how to reframe things that are important to you or how to make adjustments or whatever, you end up in a situation where you're not sure what to replace this with. You create these empty holes in your life, and although they don't need to be filled with the things maybe they used to be filled with, that doesn't mean that they're not still real experiences that you need to know how to address. So this is where I use recipes. I use them as tools that I can have holiday get-togethers. I can have special things for special occasions. I can go to a party and I can take something that is recognizable to other people, but dietary-wise appropriate for me. Nutritionally, I'm taken care of. Mentally, I'm taken care of. Culturally, I'm figuring out how to navigate what I'm surrounded by. You combine that with all of the health effects that happen from eating properly, And suddenly you gain this mental clarity and this mental strength and all of this stuff that really starts to help you not just change, but make permanent change. And permanent change is the only way to be successful at something like this long term. Now, I'm still guarding myself and my change against things that could cause me to backslide. I'm not having cheat days. I'm not playing around with things like sugar and stuff that I know that I'm really triggered by. Like, I'm very, very careful about that. And you have to figure out for you, what is the way you're going to address this? But you have to be able to address it, because if you don't, you're going to end up in a situation where something is catching you off guard. You're struggling with something makes you sick, something makes you not feel good, you have stress in your life, something is going to cause you to be tempted, at least, to go off the rails. And that weighs on you emotionally. You have to know how to stand up to things that are weighing on you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, right? Whatever your approach to these things are, you need to know that kind of stuff. And that's why this is a journey and not just an overnight flip a switch process. If you try to cut out too much too fast and you don't have your own understanding of what you're doing, why you're doing it, what your reasons are, what your why is of why this is so important to you, and you don't figure out how to navigate your personal situations, you set yourself up to be much more likely to fail. And that's what happened to me the first time I tried keto and carnivore. I did great, but I didn't set myself up to navigate these kinds of situations, and I ended up going back off the rails. So you have to know how to be resilient. One of the ways that we do that is we figure out what tools work for us. My recipes, those are tools. They help you navigate a cultural situation. They help you have something that feels special without triggering yourself with a whole bunch of excessive things. And if you can't have some of the stuff that's in my recipes, dairy, or you're sensitive to eggs, or sweeteners trigger you, or whatever, that's cool. Like, then maybe that recipe doesn't work for you, and that's fine. You have to know yourself well enough, but you also have to realize everyone has different versions of this kind of stuff that may trigger them culturally, emotionally, mentally, spiritually in different ways. Works for some people, it doesn't work for others. And this is where that judgmental thing that we see happening in keto and carnivore from some small minority of people, that's where that becomes such a problem. And that's why I speak out against that so much, because that is not using a full holistic understanding of keto and carnivore, mental health, emotional health, the cultural and spiritual health of these kinds of things, along with the physiological side. So I'm not saying my way of doing it is the right way of doing it. I'm saying my way of doing it works for me. Here's the recipes I'm creating. I hope they're a tool for you, or they're ideas that you can then use for your own families, your own cultural stuff, your whatever it is you need tools to work on. And sometimes it's just fun. If you need to have some fun in the kitchen, like, here's ways you can do it and not, blow everything you're doing. So take care of yourself. Take care of your mental and emotional health with these things, and be intentional about knowing how to use tools to bolster yourself, to hold yourself up. And if you need help and you need encouragement, the community is here. Like, reach out. You can always reach out to me. You can reach out in the comment section to other people, and there are people here that will help you. And I suggest for any of you, go look through the comment section. And if you ever see a comment pop up on any of my videos and someone's talking about how they're struggling or they're new to this or any of this kind of stuff, guys, be encouraging. Help each other, talk to each other, give each other ideas and resources, and just be there as a way to just support and love each other, because that is so important. And I wasn't going to say anything about this, but I feel like this is just important. I was going through my YouTube comments today on my keto pumpkin pie specifically, and there was a person in there who was chastising me for not having my recipe be clickable to where you can click it and print it, and that it was ridiculous that I would expect them to write this all down by hand, and that's not very friendly, and no thanks, I don't want this recipe. And it was honestly, it was very odd, because I understand, writing a recipe down by hand is maybe a little less convenient than printing it out, although people have done that for thousands of years and seem to have no issues doing it. So why all of a sudden we live in a culture where we're incapable of writing something down by hand, I'm not sure, but there we go. That seems like entitlement to me, but there's that. the amount of money and time that it takes to host a database of recipes online, it takes money and it takes so much effort to have some place where you can host clickable recipes. Not to mention each one of those has to be created, formatted, posted, etc. Like that's a full-time job in and of itself right there. So, you know, there's a lack of understanding of what it actually takes to do that if someone, you know, is unhappy to that level about that. And I understand people asking. I'm actually working on a website where hopefully I can do that. Asha is really helping me with that, but that's not an easy process. I mean, you have to build that all from scratch, or you have to pay somebody to build that all from scratch. Either way, it costs money and takes a lot of time and work. And if you guys watch any of my health vlogs, you know the type of schedule that I run. That's not just an easy thing for me to just, you know, sit down every day and put an hour or two of work into it, because I don't have an hour or two every day to put into things like that. So it's a process. But this person was going through and doing this. And, you know, I'm not going to lie, it was annoying for me to see this, because not because they're asking for a clickable recipe. I don't mind. I understand people would like that, and I'm working to try to make that happen if I can for you guys, because I want it to be as easy as it can. But more, what was annoying is that I'm here and I'm putting in all this time and effort to creating recipes that are free, and all I'm doing is creating the video that shows people how to do it. I write the recipe down in case they need the amounts in the description. Like, I do all of these kinds of things because I'm trying to help people. And because it wasn't delivered in a way that someone wants it, they want it right now, they want it instantly gratification ready, that they can just click print, do it, whatever, then they not only chastise me for not having it and say that it's not friendly for me to do that, but then they refuse to try the recipe because apparently their whole point of picking a recipe is based on how easy it is to print it, which, if you're doing that, I'd hate to be eating at your house. I'm sorry, but I'm not interested in whatever it is you chose purely on the fact that it was the easiest thing to print. But more importantly, I realized that mental health and the ability to do these kinds of things for myself is something that I've had to work really hard to get to a point where I have the stability that I do. And although it annoys me when I get someone who has that much entitlement and that much just venom and just viper attitude behind the way they speak to me, even though I've never met them, don't know anything about them, they do that, and I'm like, okay, I'm at a good point mentally where I'm not like teetering on the edge, but you know, what if I had these ideas for really cool recipes, but I hadn't really gotten my mental health in place as a creator on YouTube, and someone said something like this, and I felt like throwing in the towel and quitting. Like, maybe I would just quit. Maybe I'd say, okay, you know what? Heck with this. This is not worth my time. I'm so tired of the negativity and the people bashing me no matter how hard I work. I can't seem to make anybody happy. I'm so sick of, you know, people treating me this way, calling me names, calling me fat, telling me, you know, that this isn't friendly, or like whatever, you know, pick any of the things that a YouTube creator has happen. What if those things were enough of a deterrent that made me quit doing this? I lost my support system and I ended up falling back off the rails. And I realized that this is something you guys have to understand for your own health journey. There are going to be people like this that run you down for no reason, because there are miserable people in the world and they are looking for what is wrong with what you're doing. And they're going to tell you, because if they can topple you off the mountain, then they feel like, well, they must be better, or at least they don't have to feel like they're not as good as whatever the thing is they see you succeeding at. You have to know this about your journey, that there are going to be people like this. And on a side note, if you guys like things like my recipes, if you like the medical type videos Dr. Barry does, if you like Anita, Ketogenic Woman, and the recipes that she's doing, if you like Wes at Highfalutin Low Carb, testing recipes back to back with each other, and if you like Indigo Neely coming up with all of the various ways of doing the egg white bread so we can have the ultimate tasting version of it, and, you know, the other recipes that she does, and like, I mean, you just, you know, pick anybody, pick any of the creators in this space. If you like what they do, understand that number one, we get this kind of stuff from people. And number two, what you can really do to help us is you can go watch our videos. First of all, watch them all the way through from the very beginning to the very end without skipping stuff. And if you're busy and you don't want to watch the whole video, I get it. Put it on, hit mute, and let it play in the background, because YouTube measures how much of our video you watch. And the more of our video you watch, and especially if you go from that video to another one of our videos and you watch multiple of our videos in a row, you have no idea how much that helps what we do. And it's not why we do this, but it's the game we have to play. It is hard running a YouTube channel. This is not an easy thing to do and be successful at. The amount of time it takes. I mean, I have to work all of the jobs that I have, plus I have to go into the kitchen and do the cooking, and I have to record the video, and I have to edit that video, and I have to do all this stuff to post it. And now thankfully Ash is helping me with the social media to put that info out there that the video is posted, and I reply to all of the comments, and somewhere along the way I'm supposed to actually experiment to create those recipes. And then people like this come on and they say, well, you don't have a clickable recipe, that's wrong, and blah, 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 and they get nasty with us, okay? I don't care. The person is that's just dumb. Okay. Whatever. People have attitude problems, and it is what it is. But for those of you that watch our videos and you like what we do, it is so impactful and so helpful. If you click the like button, you share the video, you subscribe to our channel, you comment down below the video, and more importantly, you watch the video all the way through. And if you don't mind, watch that video all the way through and watch a couple more of my videos right afterwards and watch those all the way through. Even if all you do is turn it on and you hit the mute button and you just let it play in the background, I don't care. It's a free way you can support your favorite creators by going and doing this stuff. Clicking the like button, clicking the share button, watching the videos all the way through, even if they're on mute because you don't care about the recipe or, whatever, sharing it with people, putting it on social media, commenting below the video, all of this is a free way of helping us. If you like what you see us doing, that's a great way to support it, because as Dr. Barry always says in his videos, we vote with our dollars. Is one of the things that really helped me understand kind of the political side of what keto and carnivore entails. You vote with your dollars. The food you buy indicates to the grocery stores, to the manufacturers, to the government even, what kind of food you want. And they manipulate the things they put in there to make it addictive so that you can go eat all of this other stuff, right? These are my personal opinions. So, I'm not making any medical claims or any kinds of political claims here. Just my observations of what's going on. But they use the things you go buy as a way to know what to make more of. So if you go to a local rancher and you buy grass-fed meat and you buy local products and support local business and you refuse to buy high-carb stuff, guess what? It makes it easier for more people to continue providing better quality of those kinds of things. And over time, the price comes down too. So we vote with our dollars. But here on YouTube, you guys vote with your clicks and with your watch time and your comments and your shares. So if you like what you see in our videos, it is so unbelievably helpful for you to leave us a comment below, especially if it's a nice one that encourages us. And if you like and you watch the whole video and you share it with people, that kind of stuff, that's literally how we get the word out there. And YouTube will give us more people that they think our video might work for if you're watching the whole thing. So we do the best we can to make the videos interesting for you all the way through and try to make it entertaining, because we have to play that game. So all I'm saying is, for a creator, there are people out there like this that try to run us down. And again, as I've said in videos before, you don't have to apologize to me in the comments or, tell me like, don't listen to people like that or whatever. I'm right there with you. I agree. And I don't listen to people like that, but I do think it's something to be addressed, and it's something that I'm transparent about, because I want you guys to understand this is the kind of stuff, as someone who is a recovering food addict who had depression and anxiety and zero self-worth, these are the things that I deal with, that my dietary changes and my improving health has let me gain control over. This would have probably completely wrecked me 3 years ago for someone to say things like this. Like, if I had a channel and I wasn't under control here, this is the kind of stuff that would make me want to quit. Now I have the ability to have permanent change where I can hear things like this from people, take it for what it's worth, and understand that that's not something I need to be concerned about, and I understand what to do about it instead. I want you to have the same thing for your own life, because you are going to run across people in your dietary journey here, keto and carnivore, whatever. You're going to run across people that are going to try to tear you down. And it's not just about your diet. It's about your life in general. You are so valuable. You are worth so much. And you just have to make the choices for your own life to do things that are good for you. And when you hear people like this, remember, even if right now it feels really difficult and it feels like they're judging and you don't know how to put that out of your head, I get it. I was there. I was right there with you. I totally understand how you feel. But you are not alone, and you don't have to feel that way. And my channel right here is a place you are welcome to come and look for encouragement and look for the support that you need to make the food choices you need so you can get your brain fog out of the way and you can get your body in a place where it feels better and it looks better and you feel more like you. This whole channel is like full of recipes, but honestly, the health vlogs and the recipes and all of that are kind of secondary. What this channel is really about is self-worth and self-discovery and understanding your own value and understanding that keto and carnivore and these recipes within them are tools to help you become the ultimate version of you that you can be. Because I know you can be amazing. You are amazing. You just need to believe in yourself that you're going to be amazing. I love every single one of you guys, and I want you to do this for yourself. So if you love creators that are doing cool stuff, help us out by doing that. Go watch creators, like their videos, share, comment, watch the videos all the way through if you please can at all. It helps all of us so much. It's called our average view duration, and it makes such a difference if you watch the videos all the way through. If you share the videos, if you help us out that way, whatever, those are all totally free ways. All of us that I know of pretty much have links where you can buy stuff. You can use Amazon links. You can donate money, whatever. If you want to support us that way and you use dollars to support us, we appreciate that too. But if just helping us with our YouTube channel, supporting what we do and showing YouTube these are things that are important to us, that's really helpful. And for us as creators, this is how we find permanent change and how we can help you find tools and get the improvements you need so you can see permanent change. Because when you see permanent change, you become the ultimate you that you can be, because you start seeing all of these great benefits of the fact that you love yourself and you know you're worthwhile, you know you have value, and you go out and chase it and fight for it just like I've done. Thank you guys for listening to my diatribe. That was just on my mind. I wanted to get that out there for you. I hope this is helpful. I hope this is encouraging to you. Continue doing the things you're doing. I'm right here for you anytime you need it because I love you guys and I cannot wait to share more things coming up with you. Make sure to go watch those videos. Do whatever it is you can to be stable and strong. I love you guys. You are amazing. This is Chris Cook in Nashville. Eat your meat, love your life and yourself, and I'm going to see you in the kitchen for the next recipe.